They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Undoubtedly, the one you call Jesus Christ was a black man. He was melanated. He had hair like wool. He had a deep voice. He was dark-skinned. He wasn't only just a black man. He was a dark-skinned man. He wasn't brown. He wasn't light-skinned. No, Christ was dark. We're talking about Wesley Snipes, dark. So let's make that clear. That's how he's described biblically. I don't know who this character is that they put up, but clearly the Most High God ain't happy with it. What my man Sizzler say? We serve no white God. I'm sorry, he's not white. Christians, I know that you have a hard time accepting this. You have a hard time understanding that Christ is the same image as your sons, as your uncles, as your father, as your grandfather, as the man that you dealt with. Yeah, he came in that same image. His lineage and bloodline is of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He comes through the lineage of David. He was a black man, all right? There's no doubt about it. In some extra biblical text, on record, on file. It even goes into race attributing to his crucifixion because of the things he was bringing to the world. They even say his race contributed to his crucifixion. Now, let's make that clear. And if you have a problem with that, if you have an issue with that, so be it. But make this clear. Regardless of what your nationality is, your color, kindred, or creed, if you choose not to remember Christ as the scriptures have said, that's on you. You have to take that up with the Lord. But you see how the Lord is dealing with false idols.
Are you children of Israel? We are the biblical Israelites. Let's shine our light on this entire world and let them know that we're not standing for these 2/3 and their evil intentions for us. And we're not falling for the tricks and the charades. It's time that we rise up, honor the law, statutes, and commandments written up in that Bible, and stay on the right direction. What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. Peace and blessings to the chat. Casper's in the building. God's properties in the house. Laura Lee, Kim C. Yesha Judah's in the building. Tahan is in the house. I am the Kira. Kim C. The Rick. Okay. Javid Percy's in the building. Y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen on the way in. We're talking about Erica Kirk. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that we see taking place on the media, mainstream media, has all been choreographed. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, they are conducting a huge ritual on the masses. And there's a lot of secret relationships that are going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't quite comprehend. And we're going to bring this to the forefront. We're going to be talking about the alleged secret relationship or connection with Donald Trump and Erica Kirk, and how Charlie Kirk was a useful pawn in this whole battle for complete white supremacy or suspected white supremacy. Oh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how he was a blood sacrifice, and we're going to point out the evil that was on full display, and we're going to show the connections, the history. Let's go.
Erica, please come out. Erica, please come out. Thank you.
Now, what you see right here represents the Baphomet. It represents Satanism, Luciferianism. See, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a cabal that's networking, conducting blood sacrifice rituals in the general public. And they're claiming their alliance is just as bold as ever. Oh, The alliances are being shown. Now, I personally believe, and this is all speculation, that Trump has definitely clapped Erica Kirk's cheeks quite a few times, respectfully, but that's only speculation. But I'm going to tell you why I have these speculations and why I believe that she was set up to be Charlie Kirk's handler and how he was a useful pawn. Oh, we're going to talk about it. I know MAGA is entering the building. Some of you all joining may think that I'm just throwing out felonious claims. But if you sit and you listen and we go over this evidence, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, just a few minutes, what you're going to see without a shout of a doubt is that there was a connection between Trump and Erica Kirk. And I mean, even before she was married to Charlie. Oh, yeah. Now, y'all see the hand gesture. Y'all see the symbols. Y'all see what this is really about. You know, these people are in a cabal. They are part of the shadow government that we often speak of. Make no mistake about that. Now, we're going to get into some evidence. I just wanted to show y'all this. I mean, it's odd that she threw up a sign like this for some, but we know. Those in the truth intelligence community, we know. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you all some sources. I'm going to share with you all some sources. Now, make sure you double tap the screen on your way in. Peep game.
2012 wins Miss Arizona, competes in Miss USA, a pageant owned by ... Trump.
Yep, and she's posing in front of, for the record, she is posing. Matter of fact, we'll show that as well before we get into it. Here you have it. That's Erica Kirk posing in front of none other than the Trump Towers, I believe, or, you know, she was a model for Trump. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people did not know this, but we're going to give MAGA the information here. We're going to put it out there. All right. Now that that's out there, and I want to say this because everybody claimed that Erica's this Christian, but for a long time, she was on display, very scantily clad. You know that they have these actors and these actresses that they hire to fulfill certain roles. And if she's such a Christian woman, why isn't she chaste and modest and humble? Why is she out here in bikinis and, you know, walking the red carpet with all her nooks and her crannies out? See, I already told y'all that they're fake Christians. I already told you it's just a bunch of fake Christians, right? But she was surely working for Trump. And she was Miss Arizona, right? This we can prove. Now let's get into it.
Wins Miss Arizona, competes in Miss USA, a pageant owned by ... Trump.
So the pageant was owned by Trump. So let me word it this way. The pageant was owned by Trump. So technically, she participated in the pageant. Therefore, there's the connection between her and Trump, for the record. For the record. Now, some people will say, well, Breed, are you being judgmental? You know, everybody has a past. You know, no, that's not the issue at all. But it does look like that she was twerking in Trump's church. I'm not going to hold you. It does look like that things were, you know, going a certain way. We just going to leave it at that, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, want to know something really weird? So she had said in a podcast that she had never competed in pageants and had never done any modeling before, until one day she receives an invitation in the mail to become a model and start doing pageants. And the pageants that she started doing were Miss USA pageants owned by Trump.
So she started getting mail out of nowhere, you know, like sort of how, you know, some of the Secret Service may move, you know, may summon you somewhere, sort of like the federal government moves, may summon you somewhere. And lo and behold, she was asked to participate in pageants. Now, look, if you know anything about pageants, right? If you are a 90s baby, 80s baby, you know that a lot of them pageants, rich people, athletes, politicians, people who have a certain position of power, they go to these pageants to do what? Come on now. They go to these pageants to do what? Grab these women up. I mean, these women were literally, matter of fact, the Mike Tyson documentary movie, the woman that he ended up being charged for raping. Where did Mike Tyson go to go get that woman? The women that were throwing themselves at him, they were pageants. That's a place that a lot of elite men go to get women. Y'all got to understand how these pageants work. So don't think it's all innocent. Don't think this is something classy. These women get recruited at these pageants. No doubt. And there should be some DNA tests for Charlie Kirk's kids. They should be. Because I'm here to tell you that in them pageants, freak-offs do that. Hey, listen, freak-offs definitely take place at the pageants. The freak-offs definitely take place at these pageants, bro. Hey, I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Them beauty pageants is where it go down. Now, hear me. I know MAGA's pissed right now because right now, Erica Kirk is America's sweetheart, right? And they don't like the fact that she does have a past now. She does have a past that seems to be shrouded in a little bit of mystery here. So before you join Turning Point USA, I don't know, is this somebody who you want to follow? Just asking. Let's continue.
She modeled for Trump. She was one of Trump's pageant girls, but
she modeled for Trump, was one of Trump's pageant girls.
Did you know that she was also a casting director at the same time that she was doing all of this stuff for Trump? Now, she doesn't specify on her website if she worked as a casting director for Trump, but
she was a casting director. You know what goes on them casting couches. She was an actual director. So what that would tell you is Erica Kirk was allegedly recruiting other young ladies to go to the casting couches. Yep. Which means more than likely she was already at the casting couch. Yeah. Allegedly, they saying she was at the Epstein parties. I'm just saying, allegedly, which will explain why Charlie got popped, because Charlie spoke against the Epstein. I mean, he spoke about releasing the files until he was told not to. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, is this a stretch? Yeah, this is a stretch. That's why we questioning everything. We just simply questioning everything. That's all. See, over here on Nubreed Global Truth, we actually use critical thinking and astute observations, right? But let's continue.
Pageants owned by Trump. So she modeled for Trump. She was one of Trump's pageant girls. But did you know that she was also a casting director at the same time that she was doing all of this stuff for Trump? Now, she doesn't specify on her website if she worked as a casting director for Trump, but around the time that she was claiming to be a casting director, she also owned a ministry that was working with the U.S. military in Romania.
So she had a ministry that was working with the U.S. military in Romania. What are those kind of churches called? Oh man, there's a name for military churches. Somebody, I want y'all to put the term. It's a term for it, and they're very cult-like. These military churches are cults. There's a name for them. I can't think of the name right now. I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's a term for these military churches. Well, apparently, Erica Kirk was a part of that. So meanwhile, she was a casting couch director. Yeah, she was a casting couch director. And on top of that, she was showing up to these pageants with bikinis and skimp clothing on. But somehow in between all of that, somehow Erica had her own cult. Now, it's not called a chaplain. It's called something. It's specifically for military churches. It is a type. It's a name for those, not missionaries. Y'all close though. It's a certain type of church. It's something churches. But anyway, we'll think of it later. Don't worry yourselves. But this is interesting. This is rather interesting. But let's continue.
The area in Romania where she was operating this ministry had a bunch of locals accusing these evangelical ministries of kidnapping children and trafficking them.
Whoa, what? No, that don't sound too good. Don't tell me Erica Kirk was involved in that. That's all speculation, but there is definitely news reports during the time where she was a missionary at this particular church that but thank y'all for looking. Y'all don't have to keep looking. There's like churches, there's military churches, they're like cults. They're like a cult type of church. But nonetheless, during the time where she was there, that group was being accused of doing what? The unspeakable, unthinkable. They say there was some missing young ones there. They saying there was missing young ones there. All of this is speculatory, but a lot of people are getting pissed because they feel like I'm just stirring the pot right now, and that's not the case. I'm just a thinker. I'm a free thinker. Oh man, it's not sounding too good, y'all. This is not good. Don't tell me Erica Kirk was twerking for Jesus, man. Don't tell me she was out here, the T word as well with young ones. Don't tell me she might be on that them Epstein files and was twerking for Jesus at the same time. Don't tell me that's what's going on here. Let's continue.
This ministry had a bunch of locals accusing these evangelical ministries of kidnapping children and trafficking them out of the country. These children were being found in the UK, in Israel, and were also being sent to undisclosed private islands. Locals demanded authorities look into it, but they never did. Now, Charlie Kirk really wanted the Epstein files released, but did his wife? Prior to marrying Charlie Kirk.
Now, we know that his wife was more alt-right than he was. They said that in the podcast Charlie Kirk had. That the wife was more outright than he was. I don't know.
She was a multi-millionaire on her own, and since his
she was already a multi-millionaire.
Passing, she's also amassed all of his wealth plus an additional at least $5 million in donations. She's currently considered the most powerful woman in the United States, with MAGA fans begging her to run as vice president in 2028.
Wow. She has become the most powerful woman in the United States. Thousands of chapters for Turning Point. They're talking about letting her run for president. Could have been some sacrifices made. Now, I know that, MAGA, y'all in the building, y'all are rather upset. I get it. Y'all don't want to believe that it is highly satanic in politics. Y'all don't want to believe that these type of treacherous things go on, these type of schemes. But I want y'all to really consider some stuff here. Now, She only been married to Charlie Kirk for about 3-4 years. She was a millionaire beforehand. Charlie Kirk had all of these different organizations, groups, and people just donating the Turning Point to make sure it was successful. Almost like they just gave him the keys to the kingdom. It's almost like they put so much money into Kirk. But why? Was he just a useful pawn and his time was up?
Let's talk about their first date because it was actually a job interview. Back in 2018, 2 years after Donald Trump had started working with Charlie Kirk had hosted a Turning Point USA opening event for one of the offices that they had opened. And Erica and Charlie Kirk were introduced to each other. Charlie Kirk instantly thought that she was...
So she knew Trump. So Erica Kirk allegedly knew Trump before she knew Charlie. Oh, man. So the plot thickens. Oh, my audience, they are having a wonderful time right now because MAGA's in the building and they see that y'all triggered. All we doing is asking questions. Yeah, y'all need to relax. And just listen. So she knew Trump before she knew Charlie. And I'm gonna tell you, that's how it goes with these organizations, these cults, these cabals, these networks. They be setting up the wife or husband, depending on the situation, to be what? Handlers, to keep close observation on the target, to keep close observation on the one that they trying to keep in place. Yeah, it's like the Truman Show. It's gang stalking. You have the wife in on it. Hey, they getting on the phone calls, making those calls. Hey, he's getting out of line. How can we reel this person back in? Hey, is it too far-fetched that this is some Moloch cult, satanic cult? They throwing up satanic signs. Is it too far-fetched that Trump may have gave her the call? Hey, the time is now. Don't worry about it. You're going to be, hey, listen, you're going to be where you need to be. You're going to rule Turning Point. When he goes, you're going to have $100 million. You're going to be able to, hey, listen, you're going to be able to use his memorial service as a huge fundraiser. You're going to make so much money. Oh, I'm just saying, is it possible? I just ask questions. I don't know. It's all speculatory. All speculatory. We just asking questions. Let's go.
was beautiful, but thought that she was really smart. And allegedly, one of their mutuals had suggested that Charlie Kirk hire Erica. I'm assuming it was Donald Trump or someone on his team because Donald Trump had signed on to work with Charlie Kirk, and Erica was already one of Donald Trump's employees. So it would make the most sense for Donald Trump and his team to encourage Charlie Kirk to hire Donald Trump's employees. Anyways,
they set up all the marriages, all of that. They got to know who's in the network. This is all ran on nepotism.
Charlie Kirk DM'd Erica, invited her for a job interview. The job interview ended up turning into a date, and Erica allegedly had said, "You're not going to be my boss. You're going."
Wow. Hey, I mean, hey, listen. Listen, all we doing is questioning. We're not saying that any of what we're saying is emphatically true. And for the record, this is for just commentary purposes only. You know, we're in a court of public opinion. We're allowed to ask certain questions. I'm not saying whether or not all this is true or not. That's why we're questioning things. And we have the right to do that, right? Now, there's more. Oh, there's more reasons why I propose all these questions that I propose to y'all today. And we're going to get to it. Oh, we're going to get to it. Oh, yeah, there's more. Peep this.
completely insane. You need to see this right now, okay? Erika Kirk, you see the necklace there? The cross, the double cross? Yeah, red and white. Here it is. The Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, is the Maltese cross.
Now you see it. She got the Officer Jewels of Maltese cross. She's wearing a Christian cross, and she's also wearing a Masonic cross on her neck. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I personally believe that Erika Kirk is part of the hierarchy, the Illuminati hierarchy. You know, these people are Masonic. These people follow a certain codes and regulations. Looking at his funeral service, I can see the symbolism in red. I can see the reverences from Stephen Miller to Rome. And I can see that this is about political power, a shift of power. Remember, the shooter was found on the 33rd hour. The shooter was found on the 33rd hour. That is highly Masonic. That represents one power shifting from one to the next. It represents blood sacrifice. There's a lot of signs. There's a lot of Masonic, Freemasonic, demonic signs that point to this thing being some type of Masonic ritual. Let's continue.
Us, yeah, from the York Rite Freemasonry.
Yep, that's from York Rite Masonry. And I'm going to tell you, she may be related to these people. You know, the reason she got that call to show up and be a part of the pageant, who knows why? Yeah, that 33 also represents completion. This stuff is real. Now, I don't have to say allegedly about how the Masonic order works because, you know, there's a lot of documentation we can go to prove and verify all of that. Yep, the York Rite, the York House. She's showing what branch she's part of. Let's go.
So yeah, if you didn't know, here they are, Knights Templars from the York Rite, mostly Christian side, okay?
Right on the Christian side, I tell you, there's some fake Christians, man. There's some fake Christians that don't want to acknowledge the fact that it's a lot of alleged suspected white supremacists, neo-Nazi groups that hide in Christianity. They don't want to acknowledge that. Y'all don't want to acknowledge the fact that these people be in these lodges. Y'all want to acknowledge the fact that these people be operating in secret codes and numerology. I mean, she wore it. Now, I'm just reacting to what she wore. And yes, the Knights Templar are a version of the KKK. Yes, they are. In case you don't know. They are a version of the KKK. Yes, indeed. Let's continue.
Sun side, and this is the moon side. The Black Lodge, I guess, and the Scottish Rite is all the Jews, okay? So Judaism, Muslims are on the other side of Freemasonry. And look at that, Erika Kirk, okay? KKK, 3K, okay?
Erika Kirk, she got, hey.
Is the 11th letter of the alphabet, 3 times 11.
Hey. I don't know what he could. What is he saying? Oh, that is KKK. There, that is a astute observation. She got KKK in her damn name. Erika Kirk got KKK in her damn name. I mean, damn. I mean, the denial that I be seeing from MAGA in the chat sometimes it's just uncanny. The cognitive dissonance that I see. It's uncanny. Somebody said this dude just called the Knights Templar the KKK. They are the KKK. The KKK is just a modern version. That's all. A modern version. Yeah, that's all. Dang. Let me see. Let's get back to this.
7 is 33, like the 33 Freemason, and KKK is like the KKK group, you know? So here's the KKK, okay? Kind of a white supremacist group, and you see the cross? Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. Listen, people got to understand this, man. The KKK went to church too. Every Sunday they went to church. Every Sunday the KKK went to church. So you have a lot of people say, well, you know, they can't be KKK when they be up in church. Are you kidding me? You better check your history. See, back right after Sunday service, you know, around the Reconstruction era, there was lynchings that was taking place. They were having picnics. Lynchings was taking place right after Sunday service. That's real history. So just because you see these people with crosses, that don't mean that they are, and that don't mean that they're not, you know, suspected white supremacists. No, not at all. Not at all. A lot of Luciferians hide behind the cross. Yeah, a whole lot of them. And see, this really bothers them. I'm gonna tell y'all why this really irritates and frustrates them. Because it's their own people breaking this down. That's what's so magnificent about this new uprising that seems to be taking place. It's their own people that's calling it out. So far, we just reacting to what their own people are putting out. And shout out to them for taking the time to do the research and, you know, allow us on social media to research, to react. I mean, to react. But let's go.
The cross as well, the red and white cross. You see that? KKK. And look at that. The sign they're doing, like the Nazi symbol from the KKK. So they're like Nazi.
Exactly. That they have the same exact cross on their robes. The same exact cross that Erica Kirk was wearing under her regular Christian cross. The same exact cross is on the Klan suit. Yep. It's on there. Let's go.
Nazis, these guys. Oh, and they also created America First, like the Christian one.
Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Y'all keep hearing America First. And that's what is his name? Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is always pushing this America First. Wondering where that came from? The KKK. Yeah. Hey, that's right, Laura Lee. We trying to warn them, but see, they want to be part of that cult. But see, the Most High put it on us to at least warn these people, and that's what we doing.
On God, and these are like KKKs as well. America First. Did you heard that somewhere? Yeah, that's crazy. It's the same group.
Same group. America First, same group, y'all. KKK made it. They got one God on the front of it, says America First. Look at this, is an old image right here with two crosses. Yep.
And look at her name, Erica Frances Kirk. Frances, possibly coming from Germany roots origin.
It's telling you the German roots from all of this. Listen, a lot of what they doing, Stephen Miller's whole speech, he took that from Nazi Germany. The storm is coming. The Stephen Miller speech at the memorial service of Charlie Kirk, that was a Nazi speech. That was an entire Nazi speech. Look, what you see going on is a whole lot of Nazi propaganda. All right, let's continue.
Lancet's Kirk. And do you know what's the name of the most famous Nazi song? Erika!
Wow, the most famous Nazi song is called Erica. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, coincidence? Coincidence? I don't know. What y'all think? It could be just a coincidence. Oh man, it's a rather newsworthy day today. Let's go.
So you can listen to it on Spotify. I'll try to put it there. Erika.
No, we don't want to hear that, and we ain't trying to get hit with no copyright, but let's go to the next source.
Okay, this one is actually freaky, so stick until the end. We start with this guy. Remember him? This is Richard Spencer. He briefly became the most famous neo-Nazi in America after Trump's first election with this speech.
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory!
This is when neo-Nazis were starting to rebrand as alt-right, but as you can see, they were still super mask off. If you don't know, Hail Victory is English for Sieg Heil. Anyway, listen closely to this part of the speech.
To be white is to be a striver, a crusader, an explorer, and a conqueror. We build, we produce, we go upward.
And that is a regular neo-Nazi talking point.
That's exactly what Stephen Miller said at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Said the same thing. Let's go.
That you hear often these days, that white people build, create, invent things, that they're the source of civilization or whatever. Keep that in the back of your mind, but enough of Richard Spencer for now. Because this rotten hard-boiled egg is Stephen Miller. He's one of the only high-level White House staffers that stayed with Trump after his first term. And he's Trump's main immigration advisor, the architect of Trump's immigration policy. And even though he comes from a Jewish family, his own family members say that guy totally would have been an SS officer back in the day. Anyway, this is a section of his speech at the Charlie Kirk Memorial.
Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity.
Yeah, things are getting dark, man.
Yeah, he took the mask off. And there's also a stream that I just recently caught wind of a former white supremacist. She breaks down everything that was said in that speech. And she breaks down just how daunting it really is and how ominous it is. And she breaks down the whole dog whistle. And I may have to even do a separate stream just reacting to everything she was saying, because she was a former white supremacist who changed her life. And she broke the speech down pretty good. If y'all want me to react to that in the near future, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and double tap your screen right now, and we'll get to it. We may even get to it a little later, but the point is that right there was a crash out. That was a complete crash out. That was a dog whistle to white supremacists and neo-Nazis. That was a call for an uprising. That was a mobilization. that had a lot of layers to it, right? Let's continue.
Things are getting really dark. Anyone who knows anything about Nazi propaganda know that that was a Nazi speech. Not even a watered down crypto-Nazi speech. That is a straight up Nazi speech from the 1930s. And they feel comfortable doing this because they know that the killing of Charlie Kirk has given them a way to dismiss and invalidate comparisons to the Nazis. But holy shit is that mask off, and holy shit should that make you worry about what is to come.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is already started. It has already started at these colleges. At these colleges right now, at the HBCUs, we already know the situation that happened in Delta State University with the young man who they found hanging from a rope outside of the pickleball field, you know what I mean, right there in the middle central campus, right? That happened right after Charlie Kirk's death, you know, days later. So something else took place today where, you know, a bunch of MAGA debaters stormed an HBCU. See, they're getting bold because they got all these new college chapters. And it's becoming like a scene from higher learning on a lot of these college campuses. You know, personally, I would say, brothers and sisters, that a lot of the colleges, they some scams. That's my personal belief. But I would say be very careful. If you are furthering your education, doing what it is you need to do, be careful. And the reason I call these colleges a scam is because a lot of the times it's very difficult for people to actually get jobs in the field that they actually studied in college. Trade school seems to be more of a better decision, in my opinion. In my opinion. But look at what's going on. MAGA debaters invaded an HBCU. They were promptly driven and thrown out.
HBCU. What is going on over here?
You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal.
Now, I want y'all to think about something here. If Charlie Kirk was this positive guy, why in brink of his death, or not in brink, in light of his death, rather, why is there so much discord, hatred, animosity, visceral? Why, you know, you could tell a lot by how a person lived by what happens after his death. You know, the comparison to him and Martin Luther King is just absolutely asinine, because when Martin Luther King passed away, there was great mourning from all people. There wasn't all of this chaos and hatred. It wasn't all this animosity taking place in college campuses. It wasn't white nationalist groups marching in the streets talking about white man fight back. None of this stuff was happening. None of that happened. But for whatever reason, when Kirk lost his life, it seems to be anarchy going on. And I watched Erica Kirk during the funeral service throw shots at George Floyd. She said, when Charlie died, we didn't riot, which was petty for her to say that. She said, we didn't riot. We didn't do any of that. That was throwing shots at George Floyd, when we know that the whole George Floyd situation was George Soros, allegedly George Soros funded Antifa. We know that. We know that they were strategically placing bricks. We know that some of those people in mass were just products of trained Marxism. We know that BLM was trained Marxist because they admitted it. That's part of the Hegelian dialect, order out of chaos. That whole thing was an order out of chaos movement. We know that. But what we have seen since Charlie Kirk's untimely death is we see what? a lot of dysfunction, a lot more racial tension. Nobody's coming together except for those suspected white supremacists who are mobilizing, but nobody wants to unite all shades and colors because of Charlie Kirk. It's division. That shows you how he lived his life. All the way up to Charlie Kirk's dying breath, his last words were gang violence. When asked about mass shooting, his last words were gang violence. To do what? Shift the blame on people in disenfranchised communities. But it was another white man in the middle of Utah who upped the burner on him. And we can't never forget January 6th either, where they were marching down to the Capitol. You know, that whole insurrection that took place that they're trying to rewrite in history as a protest. They're trying to rewrite it like it was a friendly protest when to this day 6 lives were claimed. Because you had military police out there putting hot ones in these people. They were climbing over fences, buildings, desecrating federal buildings because Trump was like, march down to the Capitol. So let's not forget about that. As if them people wasn't raising hell. Some of those people even lost the right to fly. They was put on no fly list and all kind of stuff because they let politics get them out of character that much. Somebody said BLM claimed many more. Well, look, I don't rock with BLM. BLM was a Marxist movement, you know, ran by some lesbians that scammed a bunch of people, ran off into the ritzy conclaves of LA after taking the money. They claimed all this pro-black stuff and then moved in ritzy conclaves around white people. That's what Black Lives Matter did. I was always against BLM. And I do know that there was paid agitators involved in that whole scenario. It wasn't organic where George Floyd got choked out and our people just started rioting. It didn't happen that way. That's a lie. That wasn't a what we would call a grassroots riot. That wasn't organic. Our people didn't just see what happened and just start tearing the streets up. No, you had to put trained Marxists in place. You had to fund that whole situation, but that's neither here nor there. That's not the point. But look what's going on in the colleges right now. Let's go.
Y'all didn't do anything to your You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass. Like,
it looked like they had a Charlie Kirk look-alike out there and everything. It's like, what are y'all trying to do? See, they're trying to turn this into something else. They're trying to turn this into something else, right? They don't like the fact that a lot of Black college students are excelling in academia. They don't like that. They have to combat that because they don't want our people excelling, because the future is for those who prepare for it. My theory is that Turning Point USA is designed to really counteract the growth in HBCUs. By doing what? Creating fear, generating violence, generating race wars on college campuses. And the beginning of that is what happened in Delta State University. Now, this is no way, shape, or form a time to disrespect George Floyd, because I see people in the chat trying to take that opportunity. George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin, and they tried to say it was fentanyl overdose. Simple as that. He was murdered. And Charlie Kirk tried to get Derek Chauvin exonerated. And on top of that, Charlie Kirk has a track record of trying to get police officers off. Charlie Kirk was trying to get what's the man name who went after Trayvon Martin? What is his name? He tried to get him off. Can't think of his name right now. The guy who killed Trayvon. Yeah, I mean, there's a list of people that Kirk was trying to get off. The sister that was killed, her name, man, sometimes I'm bad with names. Y'all gotta forgive me for that. Yeah, he tried to get anybody. Well, I'm not gonna say he tried to George Zimmerman. I'm not gonna say he tried to get them all, but he tried to justify their crimes against our people. Yes, Zimmerman. He tried to justify what Zimmerman did to Trayvon. He tried to justify what happened to that sister that was in police custody, Sandra Bland. He tried to justify what happened to her. Yeah, y'all name the names, y'all. Breonna Taylor. So listen, our community always going to remember that. They making rewrite history and mobilize for suspected white supremacists and fake Christians. But our people as a whole, we're never going to forget what he did. You're not going to be able to successfully rewrite history. Yeah, he even Sonia Massey. Yeah. You ask me, Kirk was doing the devil's work. Kirk was out here doing the devil's work. But look at this, though. Look what's happening at the HBCUs with these college students who are simply trying to better themselves, being harassed by these MAGA debaters. Listen, our people don't want to debate y'all. Who sanctioned that? And our people calmly removed them or walked them to the door. They didn't lay boots to asses. They didn't mollywop and jolly stomp these people. They escorted them out. But that's what they wanted. See, in this very sensitive time, why would they have these MAGA debaters pull up on an HBCU? Because they want to trigger some warfare. They thought we was gonna whoop on it. They thought that we was gonna whoop on them real bad. That's what they thought. So they can have a reason to be upset. No, we're gonna just let's escort y'all to the front. Let's get y'all up out of here.
Like penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie
Yes.
Kirk, man. That
yes,
yes.
say good job, TSU.
Good job. Shout out to my
Good.
MAGA supporters.
Hey, they did what they had to do. Yeah, they got him out of there. They could have it could have got bad. It could have really went left. It could have really went left. Let me see here. Let me see. Somebody says, right, we want our reparations. Yes. Somebody says, speak English. Oh, okay. Somebody says, the child of Yah says, heathen devils. Yeah, I mean, listen, I believe that Charlie Kirk's children need a DNA test. I believe that I personally believe that Trump was clapping her cheeks with a host of other people. I believe there's a lot of people who didn't clap them cheeks. And I believe she was out here twerking for Jesus. I know you suspect the white supremacists. Y'all upset about that. I get it. I get it. You know, she was at the beauty pageants getting chose out here. Yeah, she was getting chose out here. And now look where that got her. She reminds me of the Republican Kamala Harris. But Kamala got better acting skills. Kamala got, look, when Kamala get the juking at the cookout, you almost believe she black for a minute. When she hit the Hey, you almost believe Carmela Black for a minute. You like, oh, she might have some foundation. But when Erica get the fake crying, bro, trying to squeeze a tear out of it, nobody buys it. Nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. So they got their Republican Carmela with less acting skills. See, look, when it comes to this political stuff, I'm a villain, bro. I'm not for Democrat or Republican, bro. I'm just a political analyst. Just a political analyst. And look, we brought all these facts to the table. All MAGA can do is come in here and call names. Like, y'all got to get better than that. Y'all got to be able to argue my talking points. Yeah, y'all got to be able to argue some talking points. But I got to go back live. It's a very newsworthy day. I got to go right back live after this one because Jimmy Kimmel's back. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about what Jimmy Kimmel had to say. We're going to end this one. I want y'all to join me for the next stream. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support and sponsor the show, there you go. Scan the QR code right there. Show your support. Also, go to nubreedglobaltruth.com. Support the merchandise. Thank y'all for viewing. All my folks over there on Instagram, salute to y'all. Let me see where y'all at over there on IG. I don't even see. Okay, I see the chat. Y'all are in the building. Salute to y'all over there on IG. Salute to y'all over there on X who's viewing. I'm glad y'all were able to catch the live. Listen, if you over there on X on IG, make sure you come to my YouTube channel and you subscribe so you can catch the next stream. All right.